Good morning, Redemption Hill. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, Devo Day. I just want to jump right into it, but I hope you guys are doing well. I got a letter the other day. It was an email, actually. And in that letter, it was actually a letter to me, from me. I was like, that's the strangest thing. It was an email, of course, but it caught my attention because it said, "Dear Adam, from Adam." And it was the strangest thing. I get a lot of things from marketers because I'm a marketer and kind of cooperate, and so it was a marketing ploy. But it was such a good thing. I read the whole letter, and I really was interested in its message. And basically, what it was, when I say it's a letter from me, is it was me in the year 2030. And so it wasn't now, it wasn't last year, it wasn't a time capsule. It was a letter to me, and maybe it could be in the year 2030. I write a letter to myself from 2020. That makes sense. But it said basically that they had invented the time machine, and since then they were able to write a letter back to me from the year 2030. Now, there was no predictions, there was no who won the World Series for the last 5 years, because I would be really successful at gambling if that was the case. I wouldn't be gambling, I'd know the prediction. But the point of the letter was encouragement. And that's what I really liked about it. Was the letter wasn't meant to really market much of anything. It didn't market anything. It just gave hope. And that was such a cool thing to see, just a regular business that's out there striving, looking and building a letter that's from the individual it's sending it to. So in my case, it's a letter from me to me, encouraging me about today. And so the reason why I bring that up is it's not so much about the letter, it's not so much about the email, it's about the message that I really loved seeing in this. And the message was that what I'm doing right now, how I'm trying to, accomplish life, how I'm supposed to do the day-to-day things, we're meant to be fine. We're going to be okay. And yeah, I don't want this to be a message about more encouragement, because I feel like we've done that time and time again. But the Bible verse that I brought up kind of talks about the same sort of concept. And it's Philippians 3, verse 13. And that goes, "Brothers and sisters, I do not consider myself yet to have taken hold of it. But one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead." I'm going to give you 3 words from the next verse. I press on. You see, the thing I liked about this message that I got from myself was that it told me, hey, maybe you got sick. Maybe someone you knew died. Maybe you're struggling with an illness. Maybe financially you lost a job, or you've been laid off indefinitely. Maybe the future looks bleak. Maybe you're hungry. Maybe there's a dozen things that could have gone wrong. And that's not they're not good things. They're not fun to go through. It's not a joy. Yeah, we want to consider it joy because the Bible teaches me, but God, in that moment, I'm not happy. And what I want to bring up in this is that those 3 words, I press on. And the letter represented that. The letter didn't give me predictions, like I said. What it did is it said, hey Adam, you pressed on. You forgot about the trials. You forgot about the moment. You forgot about the circumstance. And instead of being governed by your current condition or your current situation, you pressed on. And when you did that, you were okay. That this is a season, and that God's got you. And that it's okay that you're dealing with these things. And it's okay that you've got to process more. Imagine for 1 minute an opportunity to be able to just look back, and you say, wow, man, I thought that was a big deal. That was a big deal in my life. I think of those in my life. If I could write a letter to myself back in the early 2000s, man, I'd have so many probably really smart things to say. But it's less about what I would try to say to my earlier self and more about right now saying, hey, God's got this. And what God has asked us to do is press on. And we don't stop pressing until the end, toward the goal, to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. So I don't stop pressing on. I don't stop pushing forward. But I definitely stop looking backward. I definitely stopped looking at yesterday, or the day before that, or the moment I lost my job, or the moment I got COVID, or the moment that I have a sick loved one, or the moment I can't pay a bill. Those are real problems, and those are real situations, and they really do exist for a lot of people. But if we sit there and just mull over what happened yesterday, then we forget that I have the feet and the light and the lamp to take the next step, and the next step, and the next step, and the next step, continuing forward, pressing on. So my point this morning is not to say forget these things. It's not to say get over anything. Absolutely not. I want you to recognize that, but more so, I want you to recognize who God is in the center of it, and why with Him, because of Him, we can all press on. I was grateful to get that letter because it was so encouraging. I just about fell apart just reading a marketing letter from some marketer. But I thought it was such a compassionate letter sent to represent me 10 years from now, looking back and saying, stuff isn't working out, I know. And it's not working out the way you want, and you were hoping that this was going to be here, and you were hoping you'd be a millionaire by now. But I want you to know that you do make a change. You do make a difference. You do impact. You do advance. You do succeed. And I want to take that verbiage, and I want you to hear the other aspect of that. That in our world, in our life, and what we do because of Christ. And we do because of the glory of God in every single moment of our life. And so I want you to take full advantage of that power and press on. Blessings.